okay, if we want to plan this process the way I think is we plan this process. I go, okay, Dennis, you want to weigh in at 70 kilos. I'm very confident that I can safely take your body through 10% water and like a fluid and salt and glycogen and fiber and everything else. I can manipulate all those things very safely in that, 5 to 7 days from about 10% of your body weight. So that puts us at about 77 kilos. And then we go, okay, well, where are you at now? And you say, okay, I'm at 83 kilos. And you go, okay, we got 6 weeks. And let's just say, okay, Dennis, I want you to get like half a kilo off a week. So we're going to give us 12 weeks. So all up, we have 13 weeks. And that's fine. But it's like, and I can program that and go, okay, Dennis, this is how many calories you have. This is the amount of carbohydrates you need to have. And I can tell the macros after I go on this little spiel because people probably want to hear that. Like this is how much carbs, protein, fat that you need to do that and to achieve that. The issue is that a lot of the times like 12 to 13 weeks probably isn't going to be practical. If you're fighting for the UFC, you're probably going to get 4 to 8 weeks notice, 8 weeks at best. So these guys are coming in and it's this concept of what we call energy availability. And this is a big issue right now because we don't know whether what's more detrimental to this fighter is it this period where we're cutting this water, where there's some research that says all the hormonal imbalances, all the bad things that's happened, whatever happened this weekend, that can all happen in that week. Then there's another school of thought that says, well, no, we know we can do that pretty safely. It's actually what you're doing in this 6 to 7 to 8 weeks where you're putting these people in these crazy deficits, which you need to put them in order to get them to weight. That's playing up with their hormones. That's really disturbing all of these things. So by the time they get to this fight week, they're in a huge accumulated weekly energy deficit. And there's a good study that shows that after 7 weeks, that this fighter was in a deficit to their body of 110,000 calories. So 110,000 calorie deficit to their body. And that comes across with all these hormonal problems, all of these. So it's an interesting topic to talk about because we haven't quite figured out, okay, yes, we know we've got this time frame where it's like 6 to 8 weeks where usually that's what we're going to have for a camp. And we don't know. We don't know, do we go really aggressive with this and then kind of put these guys in these gross deficits and then manage it as best as we can and kind of keep them on this teeter and then put them through this safe water cut, I suppose, or weight cutting week? And is that a better approach than say what you said? Then, or do we just go blow it out and say, hey, no, you need to like have 12 to 14 to 15 weeks to slowly bring it down so we can keep all these hormones intact and then we can still confidently bring you down if we need to even bring you down in that fight week, or you just wake up on weight. So we're kind of like in this weird in between right now, at least in the world that I live in with academics and researchers that I work really closely with, where we're trying to figure out, okay, is there like a balance? And I think where we're at right now is I think there's a team over at Liverpool, John Moores, run by Dr. Carl Evans, who's probably, I would say, we talk about Mike Dolce and all these other guys. He's probably the smartest person. Him and Dr. Reed Reel are probably the two smartest people in this field. And I encourage anyone who's listening to that to go follow those two guys. And I think he's kind of probably got this right, where he's got this fine little balance of the way that they structure their nutrition during the fight camp can preserve these hormonal challenges that these people go through, but they can still take them through a decent weight cut. So you preserve their health during that fight camp as best as you can. And then when it comes to their health, when it's that high risk period where we're cutting weight, I think they've probably got the best system at the moment to preserve that as well. But again, it's one of those things we don't know. Let's run some studies. Like this is the thing, we don't have a lot of studies on that, and it's kind of hard to run studies. And for me to go to my old university and say, hey guys, like I've got this really good idea. I'm going to strip 15% of body weight of this from and a sauna of 10%, and I'm going to check all these hormones. What do you guys think? And they'll say, F off, you psycho. We're never doing that, you know?